our school.
And I think that is well understood by most of us on the board, and this is sort of a simple closing of the loop. If there's further action that needs to be taken, that could be a separate discussion. And I guess this doesn't feel like there's a desire to move forward, and it would be nice to move past this and focus on other important things in front of us. Go ahead, Liz.
For myself, it's not that it's not a desire to move forward. It's just I want us to move forward correctly, and if we don't talk about where we've made errors, we can't fix them in the future. So I think it's important to talk about it and make sure we're clear on what we're going to do next time. And this is an opportunity to do that. And so yes, I think we should vote on it and clarify and fix the business. But I think we also need to talk about where we misstepped here. This was it feels like a big deal to me. So I think we need to make sure.
Do you have a suggestion for a bylaw that we would write in that has a certain number of mistakes a board member can make? Or maybe a suggestion for a committee? What are you thinking for a solution?
Point of order, we do have a bylaw that states that when the law has been broken, we can take action. It's Article 2, Section 9.
So I don't know if you recall our board training, John, but Tiffany was pretty clear that public boards are built on a foundation of grace. And unless there's really good reason and clear intent, it doesn't do the board a lot of good to look backwards and try to make things into something bigger than they possibly could be or need to be. And I think if everyone on the board right now would like to be held to a very kind of nitpicky standard, and if this were in a situation where there were funds beyond what is allowed by the contract, that would be way different. And there's clearly things in place through the district and other means to prevent that. And it's hard not to see this as getting blown out of proportion from my perspective.
Tyler?
Go ahead, James.
It seems like there's a procedural issue at hand that some members may have taken exception with. To me, that's a separate issue. We need to clean this item up and move on to the rest of the business in the 20 minutes we have remaining.
Is there any further discussion on this?
Tyler, with all respect, this was a matter where funding was signed over in the name of our ABC without us approving it. And it can be downplayed, and I think it is being downplayed. But the bylaw I reference talks about legal issues, public relations, deliberate actions that are damaging. So I really think that we need to be careful about downplaying.
Can you tell us where there's damaging and deliberate actions in this? That's kind of what's missing for me. I read the same bylaw.
Point of order.
Go ahead, Chad.
I fail to see how we are getting to motion to approve principal flex days. I would really like to get us through this so we can move on to the other business that we really need to get to. We have some significant things, and we keep going back to a separate issue from motion to approve principal flex days.
Point taken. Is there any other discussion?
I move to postpone this to the next meeting. We haven't set a time yet for our next meeting if we're doing a subsequent June meeting, but either June or July.
Is there a second? Well, is there a second to the postponement?
I'll second that.
Is there discussion on the postponement?
The payment's clearly contractually allowed, there's no reason to postpone. And the payment has been made, my understanding.
Okay, we will vote on the motion to postpone. We'll start with James,
No?
John,
Yes.
Liz,
Yes.
Chris,
No.
Shad.
No.
I'm also a no. Okay, we are back to the motion on the table. Is there any further discussion, or are we ready to vote?
Let's vote.
Okay, we will start with Liz. The
Can you
motion
come
is
back
to
to me?
approve,
Sorry.
let me restate the motion. The motion to approve principal flex days.
Yes.
John,
I abstain.
James,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Shad,
Yes.
I'm also a yes. The motion to approve flex days is passed. And we can invite folks back in.
We take a quick recess, 5 minutes.
Yeah, we can take a 5-minute recess.
Does that extend the time?
Extend it. Let's run a break.
James, can you explain flex days to him? He has flex days too. He's not sure how to use them. This is a flex day.
Chris just explained the process.
This is it.
This creates,
If I use this as a flex day in the traditional term, that would mean that I was coming in and that would be a flex day.
Or you do come in at
But
your normal time.
then I can see if it is extra time above and beyond.
correct.
That's, see, it's the language for years in the district. Flex day meant swapping time. It didn't mean payment for extra
So
time.
what exists in the contract is an allowance to take that same time and cash it. Cause she couldn't
Like
find another
notifying
day
you about
to take off and
the
do it.
teachers thing?
And it allows them to set
Guys were introduced.
She may have
Zoom and all
certain-
that stuff, and you have the
Yeah.
opportunity.
So
The
Not this
district
year.
tracks that.
But it's,
I didn't get any
it's
emails or
backwards
anything
from
about
my
who was being
personal
elected
day.
to the board
You
or when it
cash
was
it
being held.
if you've done it,
Or
if
the
you put in
deadline
the time,
for any of
then you
Right.
cash.
The way it happens
It's
is
all
sharing.
that's backwards, and when she tried to tell me, it's like, it goes totally against my
Teacher
old
tenure.
AEA thinking.
Teacher term.
Right, because AEA was,
It's
contract
different.
was time for
Oh,
time.
yeah, it's different, totally different, and so in this case, it's like,
So they do, they alternate which ones.
okay,
Oh,
this is,
yeah,
this is
okay, so
4
2
hours.
years.
So
And
that's
the
half
students
an
are
hour.
here.
Right.
Rebecca is,
Or I can,
But there's an election
if I,
over here.
if I don't
Yes.
swap,
yeah, cause they're supposed to stagger.
I, as a
And
parent, did
then
not
I-
receive
then
any
it's-
notification.
You get the tidbits.
It was in May 6th, and that's it.
oh, sorry, that was.
Okay, but if you don't get the
Jeff,
tidbits,
is
then
this
you
a
don't like
contract?
You don't have
Yeah,
to
so
get
it's spelled out
I do
there.
have the ticket.
And
I
that's where
know,
most of the
it just,
information is.
I read it 3 times and it
2 years.
didn't counter my old way of thinking, so
That's
I
usually what
didn't
they
get it.
But I'm sure you said contract, maybe check the job. That sometimes the notes go there. Thank you guys for hanging out. You're welcome.
Glad to be here.
I don't know what, yeah, I don't know what. I know practice now. My wife doesn't practice nothing else either. What happened was she took 3 classes.
voted so they can come in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
She took
just-
3
we
classes
told them to
back
have
then,
an hour.
and was pretty good. So then it was Cambodia for 3 years. She's not up on it. Oh, no. Our daughter, for instance, but I would say our grandmother is pretty people, she's so sloppy. She's not even done. But she's, I'm glad she's told me how that I can ask now. And she'll tell us now if I can leave. I'll really. They'll give us no work to understand.
This is my doodle.
She has totally, but she got him way too late. She was 7. But it's still, you know, she can hear the siren, you know, it's valid. When you call her, she can hear it now. But.
So are you officially the secretary today?
Really.
I don't know. I don't know.
If you taking notes.
You don't mind
We
me
took
saying
good
that.
notes.
Meeting.
Who is actually the secretary? Oh.
Tyler's not back yet.
Oh, okay. Yes.
What?
Chocolate?
I do have.
I know, we need a phone.
Oh, are we back?
I know.
Is everyone back? Is everyone back?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
Okay, let's step out of our recess here at 9:30 PM. Next up on the agenda is old business. Item A, oh, do we have a hand waving, 2 hands waving, Liz?
Sorry, when we finished our business on the, creating the performance committee, Rebecca was gonna make that second motion and we jumped right into the next thing, so can we allow her to do that? Or maybe I'll help her do.
Why couldn't the committee just do it?
I do think that's a good thing for legal committee to do. We are soliciting the services of a lawyer for several questions that we have. This could easily be added to the list.
Do we need a motion for it to be added or we just add it? Can you add it to the list?
Let's add it. All right, we have agenda item 10, old business, address staff concerns. I'm gonna propose that we refer item I until the later meeting. I would like to have Tiffany cover this. I don't know why I had it in my mind that I would cover it. I feel like she could do a better job of it, and it's maybe not as critical to hit it today. If everyone is good with that, we'll move on to item 2.
Can Tiffany just make it part of her training going forward?
She could, possibly, yes.
Training moment for July.
Yeah, training moment for July. All right, no objections to moving on to the next item. Next up is conflict/complaint resolution process. Jessica?
I guess there was a request for clarification on the conflict complaint resolution process. So I went to other charter school websites and just to try to gather how clearly they communicate their process. We do have our complaint resolution process on our website, but it doesn't have the clear path for, employees. So, Highland Tech does a really good job. If you wanna look at their website, I would like to emulate what they're doing. So I just wanted to let you know this is a work in progress. I agree, we need a more clear path and like, where do employees go, where do APC members go, where do parents go, where do students go? So, I'd like to do something similar to what Highland Tech is doing. There is ASD language that guides this, and I could read that to you, but I'd rather just have a little bit more time to come up with something and then show it to the board in July, if that works for everybody. But I agree that the, communication needs to be clearer on how particular roles apply. And really hurt.
Any questions for Jessica? Liz, go ahead.
Can you send us the Highland Tech one?
Oh, sure. I mean, you could, yes,
on the
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You're right.
Just look it up. And that's just
All
one
right,
example.
that was a lazy question, my bad.
No, it's fine.
Any other questions for Jessica? Okay, we're moving on to 11, new business. Executive session, complaint resolution for a parent complaint against APC board. Executive session is required to be private, and this one is in reference to subjects that tend to prejudice the reputation and character of any person. And whoever's being discussed here, they can request that the discussion is public in this case. So we need the public to step out